Yes. Yes, royal family, blessed love, and we glorify and give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Yes, family, this is the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, Church of True Divine Salvation. We give thanks for such a Congress that stands above all organization, stand governmental, parliamental, churchical, statical, sabbatical. We give thanks and glorify our worthy founder and leader, the Royal Ambassador, our President and God in flesh, the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, and give thanks for the principles of this Congress that stand on every man and woman under their own vine and fig tree. A royal welcome to each and everyone, those who are in tune with us on Radio Anu, and of course, a special blessings to those who will be joining us tonight for a special edition, even on the YouTube. Welcome to our Sunday evening program, which is Welcome. That's the whole title. Welcome to the House of Priests. And we have some royal visitors with us this evening. We have the Honorable Empress Maisie and the Honorable Priest Douglas. And we do intend the Honorable Priest Lamont to join us, as we will be having a wonderful reasoning as it relates to our God and King, the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. I will say blessed love to the Honorable Kes Westmore, my accompanied host. You know, we're both co-hosts of this.
Blessed love.
And Lord, give thanks for the coming in. And I will pass it over to the eye to bless us with an opening prayer, and you could take the discussion into, you know, the future. My Lord.
Blessed love, my Lord. Give thanks and give thanks, majesty. Glory be to our Father and to the Son, to the Holy One of creation. As Jah was in the beginning, is now and ever shall be, Jah world without end. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Now we commit to make up his jewels, all his jewels, precious jewels, his love and his own. Like the stars of the morning, his bright crown of the dawning. We shall shine in our beauty, bright gems for Rastafari crowning. We give thanks to life, health, and strength to the most majestic. Negus still leads on till our rest be won. And though the way be cheerless, we'll follow calm and fearless. Guide us by thy hand till we safely stand in Ethiopia, our father's land. Give thanks to life above all things. Give thanks to everything coming to our right. Give thanks to the victory again, returning from exile, our divine majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, Jah Rastafari. Blessed love, my Lord.
My Lord, give thanks.
Give thanks.
Yes, my Lord, all is well with you, Honorable Kes Westmore.
All is well, dear, my Lord. Give thanks. You know, we're going through the battle. Yes, you know, the locusts and the worms and the cat, you know, all these things, but we give thanks to the victory again.
True, my Lord. Well, even before we even go into it, let us just say a blessed love to, you know, the mighty matriarch, first of all, with us, the very first matriarch to step into the House of Priests, you know, but we did say that from the onset, that not because it's welcome to the House of Priests, it's really there for all those with that priestly mind and priestly teachings. And I know we even get in some of that from the matriarch. So let me just say, first of all, blessed love, Honorable Empress Maisie. Give thanks for coming into the house.
Yes, man. Glorify, man. The
Blessed
privilege
love.
and the honor to be on the Adam program, you know. Glorify, my Lord.
True, Honorable. And Honorable Priest Doggy, my Lord, give thanks again for stepping in.
Welcome.
That strange space at all to the eye.
Give thanks, honorable priests and priests, and
Blessed love, majesty.
It's an honor and a privilege to be here among such divine ones, you know. Mama Maisie, blessed love, utter love to all.
My Lord, bless your love.
True,
Honorable, bless it.
true, man.
Give
Give thanks, you know.
welcome, man.
Honorable Kes Westmore, I know a lot of our listeners and visitors may be saying, wow, these brothers and sisters, everything is honorable, you know. But you see, that's how we've been taught to really conduct ourselves. You know, my Lord, we are really here also promoting a mighty event that we will be having in a few days on the 21st day of May, which is this coming Sunday. We will be having, I would say, the long-awaited telethon, which is really a Webathon that would really, you know, lead us into the fundraising program for the elder care project, of course, of the Ethiopia-Africa Black International Congress, which is being established by the Upliftment Committee of such a Congress. And this Webathon, officially scheduled to take place again Sunday afternoon between the hours of 3 to 6. There may just be an adjustment in the time, but for now, that is where it is. And it will be a Zoom event really to the family, although it will be broadcast and streamed to different websites, different platforms, pardon me, including this platform. And we are actually hoping that we could collaborate some other platforms if technology would allow us to do that. But for sure, it's a Zoom event, so each and every one is totally free. But the whole aspect of the event is that we are raising finance for the elder care program as it relates to the Ethiopia-Africa Black International Congress. And as we go more into the program, we will speak a bit more about that. But we have designed this program actually to speak about the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. And this is why we entitled this program, The Elder King Emmanuel. And there's a little sentimental touch to it, because you see, if it's one thing about Bobo Shanti we stress, is that King Emmanuel is a man, you know, and his God in flesh is a human being. And if it's one thing about Bobo Shanti and Rastafari in general, it takes you away from, you know, this spookism about God and this fairy tale thing and, you know, this unbelievable vibration. And those who would have sat with who we consider the Christ Melchizedek, they would have seen firsthand that we're dealing with another human being, but a human being that carries the light of, you know, salvation so radiant within himself. He must be the Black Christ, but he's a human being. He can, I guess, thump his toe and can feel a mosquito bite just like anyone's. And as the time would have, you know, moved on, we who would have sat with him, and we is a general term because I personally would not have, would have seen, just like any elder, any ancient, that King Emmanuel would have aged, and to the point that he would have been taken care of by even those elders that are on this panel this evening. So this is where we want to go. It may come down a bit sentimental to some, I'm sure, because some of us even have a phobia of listening to something like that when it comes to maybe our slightly dogmatic religious outlook, but that's all right. We come to cleanse up all of that tonight. So before I bring in the ancients, I'm just going to pass it over to the Honorable Kess Westmore. I'm just going to ask my engineer, the Honorable Empress Naya, who is engineering for us tonight, just to assist me with this. And Honorable Kess Westmore, I will just pass it over to you before we bring in the Honorable Empress Maisie. Just pick up your seat. You know.
Oh, give thanks to life again. Give thanks to our loved one in Christ. Give thanks to each and every one right here at this present moment. Give thanks to the High Honorable Priest Isaac. We give thanks to the Elder Honorable Priest Douglas, also Honorable Priest Dougie. And we give thanks to Empress Miriam and every Empress Mary playing the timbre across the Red Sea. So we give thanks. And it's going to be wonderful this evening. And we don't want to take up too much time within reason, but we know that, you know, as the Father said, the elders know the way and the youth man is strong. So elders, you have known me, who have, you know, has been of old. You know, so I give thanks for those who walk with the man and talk with the man and observe the man and know that the man is a living man and a living being, you know, who has carried his teachings, his principle, I and I within this time to let the humble be fed, the naked clothed, sick nourished, age protected, and infants cared for, because the man, as I say, is a man. And within that temple is the Black Christ in flesh. So we give thanks for the man of Shua, and I say, from a babe to an ancient, and now we take care of this temple. And now we take care of the temple that is around this temple also. So we give thanks to the moments. It's a wonderful moment. Give thanks to those listening on the Zoom. Give thanks to those on Radio Anu. And Honorable Majesty, I would honor it over for to the eye again as we continue this moment that shall be written down in history. Give thanks.
Honorable. You know,
Yes,
I like
sir.
the moment that shall be written down in history. Honorable Priest Dougie, as our elder leading priest, and give thanks for your presence as well. I take it that you would be blessed if I ask the elder matriarch to bring forward her testimonies first.
Almost natural, my lord. Almost natural.
In all respect, you know, we're Africans, you know, and we seek all the you know, assurance from all the elders as we go through. Honorable Sister Miriam, and as the Honorable Priest said, Miriam played the timbrel. A lot of ones don't know that is directly the iTunes across the Red Sea specifically. I don't know if you remember those days early when I came to Bubble Hill first, you know, the I would have sat with I. You told me the story of when the bomb dropped in the hill, and the I and the Honorable God Headley would have found that bomb and carried to King Emmanuel, and he tell you it disarmed already, and they carry the bomb down to the police station, and the police run out. Right. The I would have I would have told I of them times when King Emmanuel, you know, them latter years, and I would have been to the palace, and at certain times it would have been taking care of him. You even speak about, you know, ironing clothes, and I don't know if it's the washing of the locks, etc., etc. This is the kind of energy we want to kind of pull this evening, you know, the reality of the elder King Emmanuel, even when his voice was getting deeper and everything, the energy that he would have, you know, given to those around him, and even the care that even I would have given him. That's really where I want to go this evening, Honorable Empress. Blessed Lord.
Yes, my Lord. Oh, blessed greetings, you know, to each and every one, you know.
Blessed Lord, God,
you know, and my Lord, give thanks again for life, you know, the mighty life giver, our divine Father, you know, who teach us all things of right, you know, who teach us who we are, you know, and tonight, praise God, we can stand to testify, you know, about the Father, and I, or we take care of him as an elder. So I give thanks to this opportunity. First, I must say, give thanks to the Honorable Priest Isaac, my Lord, for such opportunity to be on your program. And to the Honorable Priest Richie, give thanks is to hear the man voice again, Honorable. And to Honorable Priest Dougie, blessed love to the Royal Angel. And give thanks to each and every one, Majesty, as we talk about our initiative, which is the elder care. And that's what we are promoting tonight. Right. It's about the elder. Most High, Selassie, Jah.
Rastafari.
Rastafari. Yes, Majesty, I must bring you back, you know, to the time when I, you know, have this opportunity to start taking care of my father, King Emmanuel. It was one September morning, after I went through my tragedy, losing my son. I really never see the father for about 3 months, you know. And then I finally saw him in the 4th month, you know, and he was so happy to see us, you know, royal and all the blessed names and thanksgiving my father bestowed upon me as his daughter. It was really, you know, good and feeling good to hear the God, you know, the God of life, you know, bestowing such honor and blessing upon I, you know, and strength. So while we were there talking, Majesty, remember now this is the first time I'm going to really start looking after my father. So I said to him, I see where, you know, his fingernails and his toenails, need trimming down. You understand? No, the Empress were used to take care of such fulfillment of the Father, was not present for a while. And because he wasn't present, his fingernail and his toenail wasn't taken care of because no other one, did not see that. I said to him, Dada, your fingernail them tall, man. And who are giving you the picture and the manicure? The father laughed and he said, Empress, my daughter, you see, the daughter that used to take care of, it is not present anymore. Can you do it? Hey, nervous, me say, yes, my Lord, but in my heart, I said, Father, how I tell Dada yes, and I didn't know how to put, a fingernail, and I never do that to anyone, right? So, and this is my father, and he's held us. Suppose anything, but anyway, I said, yes, Majesty, with braveness, and proudness. I said, yes, Majesty, I can. And he sent me off to get the tools, the clips and things. I rush and I come back, and I started my work. That's the first thing on the father, I take care of. It was his toenails and his fingernails. And I did it wonderfully. And then applause me and tell me, give thanks, it is good. So with such a fulfillment, getting through with that, then I started, a month time when I'm free, start to take care of the father, going around his palace. But not only I alone, the sisters then,
Yes.
it was high, alone was cutting his fingernails and his fingernail and his toenail at the time. So that was my job, that was my duty every month. But every sister, that was free and one time would make sure that the father is taken care of. And not only the sisters alone, the brothers them, because the sisters them have their duties to perform, within the palace, right? While the brothers them have their duty to perform to the king, right? So at one time when we're free now, we'll go on by the king palace, right? And we'll make sure that the king garments is clean, washed, ironed, packed away, properly, and his palace we would clean up the palace, shine and pretty. When we finish all the flooring, you could fix yourself in it the way how it is shine beautiful. That was the work of the empresses them, and then in his bedroom, we make sure all the bed linens are clean and smell good, and place tidy up and neat, because our father, King Emmanuel, is a clean and tidy and upright father. So we have to make sure everything that we do for the father, is clean. And over the years, it was an honor taking care of the father as an elder, right? While we make sure that it's the brethren then, he had Priest Elvin Lewison. He was the one that used to cook for the father, right? And he would press the father pants. The empresses then would not press the father pants because when him finish with the father pants, it's a razor the way they seeing them stand up. The Charlie Chaplin pants them, that are Charlie Chaplin, that are wear, nothing else but Charlie Chaplin. You see? And they
sharp,
them right, but stand up. So it was Honorable Prophet Selvin Lewis, my brother, priest, would make sure that the father pants, would press. And the sisters would make sure that the church them are pressed properly and turban and everything. And then you would have Janats now. Before
you get the Janats, Mama, before you get to the Janats, just keep the phone a little closer to your mouth, eh? Don't feel no way. Before you get to Janats.
Okay, no problem. It was the
there's
two.
a little distortion.
Yes,
I don't know if
ma'am.
it's that exactly, but
Yeah. Then Janat now, Elder Nuts now will take care of the father lots. So around the father, you will have the sisters then, which is his daughter, take care of one duty while the brothers take care of another part. And so we'll have the opportunity from time to time, to take care of the father every month, to see that he's okay, and we sit and talk with him and laugh with him, and make the father feel joyful and happy in himself as his elder. So now that, the elder care, because of our elders, I myself are elder, right? In another 2 years, I'm 70 years old. You understand? And so we have to make a way for our elders, right? So that they can feel good. Take care of them, show them some love, be there with them, like how we would take care of our father. Our father palace well clean. You understand? Everything around him was good and clean and nice. And so we have to do the same thing for our elders near and far. Not only those who are on the foundation, but those who are not on the foundation. You understand? And that's why we give thanks to this, elder care program, as we, launch it on the 21st of May, coming here. It's for a good purpose, Majesty, you understand? So my lord, those are some parts, first part of, as I tell you, how I start to take care of Dada, and the other sisters, them too, will take care of the father, and we will take care of the elders, them too. We'll wash for them, we don't cook for them, but we will wash for them, clean their house, make sure, say, in them time, that they are taken care of, those who are elders on the foundation, Majesty. I don't know, yeah.
Yes,
so
Honorable. But before you drop the mic there, so give thanks, that's a beautiful testimony, and just exactly what we expected. But in your testimony, just before, you could just spend a little more moment on it. You were saying, King Emmanuel is a clean man and a sharp man, and so obviously, as you said, when you the fact that he needed a little shine up, he was a bit slower at the time, let's put it that way. But the man, then as the shine man and the clean man and house clean, give us a little idea of how that man move around, eh? As you did tell me earlier behind the scene, you're gonna give us a little rundown on the younger King Emmanuel too. Let's put it that way.
All right. So this is what I am telling you about. Well, when you said the younger King Emmanuel, in what age are you talking about? Because when I met the father,
right, you go through.
When I met the father in 1979, the father was down in age like he was in his 70s or 70 odd, you see, and that is what I am talking from. Now, I myself, I did not met the younger King Emmanuel in his 50s or his 60s, you understand, but I met the father within that age, going down, to the 80s and thing, you see. So in the elder age going down, the father was kind of, I wouldn't say he was slow, because to me, Dada never slow, but to me, he wasn't active. Now, in the 70s, Dada would have, one of the times Dada would have come out, and sometimes would have walked the field, and if we have a project to do, like when we were building the tank, Dada would go, and carry the first stone, right? Yes, but as he gets elderly, going down in age, he stopped. He never do that anymore. You understand? And so we could say the father is getting up in age. Even his speech was kind of like a bit more slower. But the man was vibrant still. you know, in his talking and laughing, you know, as we continue to take care of him, you know, in his going down into his 80, as
True.
I can really put a number, because
A
you
number,
discern, you know, you don't really, I don't really know the age, you know, but I'm just saying that I deserve, I could look on a brethren that is 80 or 70 and I could say that man is about that age. Now, we did not know the father age, but as a wise one, you know, would put that age on him. So Majesty going there, you could see that the father, you know, was getting more elderly in himself, you know, but elderly but
Real
not
thing.
out, still strong in himself.
Beautiful vibe.
So I'm talking about that age, Majesty, not the younger King Emmanuel, but going down in age, my Lord.
Going up.
And the activities and the activities of the father, you know, would kind of slow down. You know, things he used to do, you know, that I used to get up and when, you know, the bingia play would rock from one corner to the veranda to the next corner. Sometimes you have to say, wow, look at your father. I know he's just rocking away. But in time, you know, that all of that will slow down, Majesty. Not to say not rocking still, you know.
Yeah, man.
You could see that the age is, you know, taking, you know, toll of the man, and so he would take time, cut down all of that activity. But God is God, you understand? And this robe of flesh I drop and rise. So this morning you'll see the man like, you know, he's down, you know, but by this evening, Majesty, you can tell that it was that man you see this morning, kind of looking feeble and thing, but by the evening he's moving about, you know, joyful as ever. You know, that are some of the things I really behold, you know, and see things for myself, you know, and I can say, God is God, you know, and God, man of God, man of right is God in flesh. And our Father wasn't just no spirit alone. It was a man of love, a man of kind. It was true, divine Father that I never have. Yeah, Prince Emmanuel, while we were there, taking care of him, fixing up his house, fixing his breakfast on the table, and what he eat, we always get him eat and right. That's the joyful moment of it. When him finish eat, what is on the table is, who is there is ours. You understand? So definitely, he was a father to us. Remember, when your father eat and left, you always fight for the plate, and it's my plate tonight, and it's your plate tomorrow night. So we get that opportunity to get the father, you know, when he finished to eat what he left. And that was a joyful moment. We were happy around the man, you know, sharing and caring and give God thanks. And it was a blessed moment taking care of the Father when we are free. For the first 5 days of our freedom, it was all about King Emmanuel as the elder priest of all the priests, the elder priest, King Emmanuel, where we minister to him royalty, you know, to our divine Father, my Lord. Do I answer your question, priest?
That's the fire.
Yes, God, it's definitely. You give thanks, beautiful. Yes, and but just reminding the audience, those who may be coming in, you know, this is Welcome to the House of Priests. And of course, we are, as usual, we are on Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice. And of course, Radio Anu is broadcasting through priestisaacinstitute.com. And for those who are on the YouTube, we give thanks for your presence. You know, we just ask you to do your little duty by just liking the video, as they call it, and pressing them buttons that will make the video go somewhere further than where it's going. So just press the thumbs up and we will be very thankful. We're having a wonderful reasoning this evening, and we are definitely highlighting our elder care initiative. That is basically the theme for the evening. Of course, you would have been hearing us speak of the fundraising activities that we are having, We have some information here for you. Although Sunday will be the actual Webathon, remember that the GoFundMe has already been established. And for those who definitely have an open heart for the program at hand, you could definitely start to make your contribution by you going to the GoFundMe. We also have the Cash App, and we also have the PayPal. We have the GoFundMe link. Well, don't worry, all the links will be established in the chat, in the description below. The Cash App is the $ JA, E.A.B.I.C 23. That's the Cash App sign, JA, E.A.B.I.C 23. The PayPal is priestnappy@gmail.com. Priestnappy, like N-A-P-P-Y @gmail.com. Those of you on the YouTube, you could see all the information right on this flyer in front of us. Even for more information, you can contact the Honorable Priest Nappy, area code 786-419-9364. And as I said, all the information is on the flyer before you. And the Honorable Priest Dougie, I'm sure, will give us some more information on how this whole program is going. But before such, I don't know if Honorable Kes Westmore, you want to say anything concerning what the Honorable Empress said before we move on. And blessed love to Priest Lamont, who is also in the house.
Oh, give thanks, Majesty. Give thanks for the testimony of the Honorable Empress Miriam Empress Maisie again. You know, we see the care of the Father also, you know. That is what it said, you know. But I should say, you know, she see him through the ages, you know, because she said she see him, you know, as it's just transformed, as I would say, a younger King Emmanuel, but it's just the movements as the eras move along, you see, because you see, in each time, and she will see him rocking that way. And I just want to know, there's a rock of ages. He's clear for me. So he's the rock of ages. So I'm giving you the rock in all ages and make you see how it go in all ages. You see, so we see how he as an individual has to be taken care of in all ages, all steps. So likewise, I and I as a people, amongst ourselves, because as elders always say, always check you know, about the God in you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning, I check about the God in you, you know. You bless the God in you. You see it. So give thanks to the rock of ages and give thanks and every Empress Miriam moving through the ages as a rock of ages. Give thanks.
Lord. And before we bring in the Honorable Priest Dougie, let's just let the Honorable Priest Lamont bless the congregation. Yes, my Lord, welcome, my Lord, give thanks for your coming in.
Majesty.
Maybe make a little step. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, Honorable Priest Dougie, you know, the floor is yours. You know, I no questions asked. The floor is there. I know you have some statical to give us and some churchical. So the floor is there, my Lord. Priest Dougie.
Yes, give thanks, family. Yeah, man. Like
Yes,
I said earlier, it's an honor and a privilege to be amongst like minds, you know, to be amongst royal family, you know, of this great order, which we are a part of, you know, this Melchizedek order of priests and royal empresses, you know, yes. Following on the heels of Mama with her such colorful, you know, depiction of her memories, you know. First of all, let me do some housekeeping.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
The GoFundMe is a very important, you know, project that we are doing right now on many levels, you know, essentially needed.
Yes,
our creed, you know, and for the unit in roles. And we're seeing the fruit of it. And Honorable Priest Lamont will expound on that himself because he's there on the ground. We both are, but I go and come. He's steadily here, monitoring and seeing all the effects of what we are doing. And he can speak to the positivity of it. I'm not saying that life is without challenges because we face challenges all along the way. you know, but that's all there are, challenges, you know. That means there are hurdles to overcome. And as gods, we find ways to overcome them through the Father's strength and his teaching. Yeah. So the GoFundMe, it's launched. It's Dear My Family. Every mickle make a muckle. So anything that ones have that, you know, you can contribute, I would encourage you to contribute. You just need to punch in E.A.B.I.C. before you even finish. It will pop up. If not, you go to housing project, E.A.B.I.C. housing project. It will pop right up. You go in the link. When you get into the link, just follow the instructions and it will lead you to a spot where you see donate. You hit that donate and you do your thing. And like I say, every mickle will make a muckle because, you know, our elders are in need. I must remember now, we have always been an independent people, you know, both by choice and by circumstance. What I mean by that, our elders have faced some time wherein the society rejected us, pushed us to the periphery, on the edges. We lived on the fringes of society. We were never covered by any of the umbrellas that the rest of society is covered by. Meaning that healthcare, no, we don't know anything about that. We create that for ourselves. We practice preventative medicine. We learn about the herbs and the roots and the plants. King Emmanuel, our father, which we are speaking about this night, he was a master herbalist, not just a regular herbalist. You know, those people that you hear speaking colorful on the radio and on TV programs. No, this person that we are speaking about, King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, was a master herbalist. Now I'll start off with this little story. When I first got to camp and was preparing to build my gates, I and Prophet Apo at the time went across the hill, go chop some stick, some posts, you know, host them time that, you know, we needed to post them for line it out. So we go over the mountain, then I wanna chop some posts. And in chopping, the cutlass ricochet and bust my big thumb here in two, literally in two. So I wrap it up now and rush over to the camp and I said, no, well, I have to go reach hospital and everything and get it dealt with and thing and go run at the father. And the father just said, hold on, make him see. It's all right. So I ran around behind the house, behind his palace, where he had a bush growing called fresh cut. Him get the fresh cut, him sent with some aloe, and he mix up the aloe and him beat up the fresh cut and he make a salve. Seeing? And him wrap him man finger with it, wrap it tight. And say, just give it a chance. You know, the pain was there, but you don't know, man of a man up and bear that. So eventually the pain cooled down and days go by and eventually now I man unwrap it. You see, when I unwrap it, I man couldn't believe how I finger look. Because I said, no, I have to go get stitches, you know, because the thing bust in two. You see what the father do with the finger rejoin itself, you know, and I can, it just you there, them can't see it in this light here, but you can see where the finger was traumatized, you can see where it was split, but the finger is almost perfect. And I don't get no stitches, I don't get no transplant, anything, no flesh move from one area, patch out another, or nothing like that. The father just tell I what to do, did the first one, and that was it. And throughout I man life with the father, I saw it go. I man see children right there in the camp. Mothers have babies, and the baby struggling. She go to the clinic, and them diagnosed the baby with rickets. Seeing the baby have a problem where the baby just won't stop vomit and won't stop diarrhea, have diarrhea and won't stop vomit. We were afraid we are going to lose that baby there. And the whole time, one's is trying to do it themselves, one's rushing to the clinic. We just never check the father. Till finally the son reached to the father, and the father said, my lord, just tell them to go around by the house back, dig 7-inch down in the dirt, take out some soil, mix it with some water and get the baby. Just a simple thing like that. It sounds simple to ones, but you see from the baby get it, immediately the baby stop vomit, immediately the stool get hard. When I say immediately, I don't mean say just but everything started to subside as soon as the baby drink it. So it started, it slowed down till it finally got hard. The baby stopped vomit. When everything else that they tried didn't work, went to the clinic, got medicine, all of that, nothing would have stopped the baby from vomit and the diarrhea, my lord. And there it is that I come up with a remedy again. See? So throughout I tradition with the Father, and I've seen the Father do many things, many of those healing, care, because a lot of it have to do with the knowledge of nature. And our Father understood that to the heights. Now, that picture that you showed earlier, my lord, is a picture that I have great memory for I. But even before that picture with that and I'm white holding that photograph. Now, yes, that one. Well, when I met the Father, I met the Father in I'm whites, but the Father came out with another picture similar to that, but he came out with a picture with a cross and a Christ on the cross. And him said to I, say, yeah, this is him. You understand? Same way like how I see him hold the picture there, he held the picture and show I. And if you look on the book that I did in tribute to the Father, the philosophy and opinion of the high priest, that is the picture that I have on the cover. I commissioned an artist to paint it out of my recollection. So that photo on that cover is what I remember of my first time meeting King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. And when I left as a school youth, 12 years of age, when I left and on the way to the bus stop from that first meeting the Father, no one couldn't tell I, as a youth them time, that I never just visit heaven. That the place where the Bible talk about where I hear in a Sunday school and here in a church, I just visit it on earth. And I just see the Christ declare himself to I, seeing. And today, how many years, half a century later, I still declare the same thing, that I was privileged to meet the Christ of my time. Yeah, my first robe, my brethren and my sisters, my first robe is the Father. He went in him closet and him take out one of him white robe and him give I. That was my first white robe I have ever had at the age of about 13 them time.
Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
True, I and the Father kind of carry the same build. It fit him and pleasingly. You see it. So I know the Father, coming to the Father from that age, the Father that I know is not just, and I love how the I start off the reasoning precise, establishing the fact that the man is man and him is God. And I come to know the two sides of the man. See, there are those that only know the God side of the man. See, so them don't really know the man. They were so in awe of the man that they were almost in fear of the man. So they did not use the time with the man, among the man, to ask the questions and to get familiar with the man and to see the humanness of the man. But I got to see the humanness of the man, and that does not change the divinity of the man. It establishes it. Because as the man teach I, is man of right and woman of right make up the deity. Man of right is God in flesh, woman of right is goddess. So that are the only way we are going to see and understand the concept of God in the personality of a one. The Most High, Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So I will give that as my first contribution to the reasoning, my Lord. Blessed.
Give thanks, my Lord. Glorify and give thanks to that. Wonderful testimony there, you know. Yeah, man, give thanks to the real God in flesh. And the natural way they have dealing with ones and ones, you know, the herbs. Man manifest himself and show himself in as a great physician there and the sympathize with me, because last year, that's the far right.
Right.
Give thanks and every priest, don't give them testimony, you know, give thanks, my Lord.
My Lord.
Give
And you know,
thanks.
priest, I just said that, I just about herbs again. You know, there's a practice that we always had in the camp. I don't know if the item come meet the practice then at the item time. But we used to always beat this up, you know. What people come know as single Bible. I father call it ISAP. So I used to always beat ISAP, you know, sometime 2 times, 3 times a week, you know, my lord.
Yeah, man, always
Me
that you
drink
see
it.
me, General.
Yeah, man. And that the man say, you know, purge me with this sap until I am white
Clean.
up clean, you know.
And then black as wool.
Yes, my lord. So at
Yes,
that
I.
word thing, you know, the man come teach I all them things. And if I follow and continue in those traditions, the health concerns that plague I and I right now, a lot of I and I wouldn't be plaguing I and I.
It's true.
It's true, we step away from it. You see, when the father tried, a lot of things I and I kind of neglect, you know. Let's use that word. We neglect it, you know,
You neglect yourself.
in focusing on the material survival, we forget the traditions that have served us well, especially during them time. And the father was teaching us that time for this time. Just like Garvey, just like Our Majesty, their teaching
True.
is more pertinent today than during their era. And it's
It
the same
always
thing.
goes, sir.
Yes, my lord. And the same thing with Dada. What Dada was preparing us for was this time. The fasting and the praying, knowing how whole your order. You know, see, the man said when you go out the road, I want not to know when you're hungry, I want not to know when you're certain way. You always put the best foot forward as a soldier and man up. See, until you reach upon your ends, you deal with the thing. You understand? So the man teach us self-pride, teach us militancy in ourselves too. Our father was not just a lamb, like how people want to paint him like he was just some religionist. No, King Emmanuel was a warrior spirit. That's why
Yes,
them
man.
couldn't take him, you know. That's why the police them beat him down, so you know, because him words were more piercing than the sword, because his words were the words of truth, and evil don't love truth. So when the father
No.
speak the truth, them it rile them up. So when him got set, like the man say him set him church, not even the gates of hell can prevail. Which part him got set Mount Team and during that period of time that I and I lived with him. Yeah, you know. We see the manifestation of it. We see the whole fullness about the Father um establish himself and how he became the shepherd of the movement. Because the Father didn't proclaim himself, you know. That's why he was able to host the 1958 convention, which we talk of often. And we must speak of it often because it was a monumental achievement in that era. Just like how Garvey achieved what he achieved without social media and text and phone and all of them things. And him gather how much 1,000 people in a Madison Square, 25,000 people gather one evening. You understand? Garvey do that without all of
Sure.
them technology there. See, and establish how much offices all around the world. Cuba alone had how much UNIA office in Cuba. See, and him did all of that without social media. See, well, it's the same way our father achieved what he achieved during his time. And we have to acknowledge the greatness of what he achieved. He rose the only black fraternity of the cloth in the Western Hemisphere here. The only authentic black fraternity of the cloth. What we mean? The only order of priests coming from the ancient order of our African origins. The Melchizedek order. The Melchizedek order is not a Judeo-Christian order. You know? It predates Judeo-Christianity. See, it goes way back through Egypt. You know, with Jehuti, You understand? With Jehuti, when you go back in your history, your African history, and you see and you trace it, you see where the original story, whether you want to call it an allegory, a myth, or whatever, but the ancient story of Melchizedek came out of Africa, came out of the continent of Africa, Akibelan, out of Kemet, out of our ancestors, seeing, and our father was wise enough, was spiritually conscious enough to rise it forward in its purity. You know, everyone that has experienced the order, the Bobo Shanti order in its heyday cannot say that it was not a moving experience spiritually. Yes, my lord.
True,
That's all right.
true,
Just,
majestic, true.
Give thanks.
just
Yes,
reminding. Yes, Empress, you're saying? Yeah, just reminding the family, you know. Of course, even before the Honorable Priest Lamont come in, I would like, I'm sure he's still close by. I don't know, I hope he's still close by. But for sure, family again, you know, give thanks again for all the testimony that we are hearing thus far. And, you know, this is not just those of us here sitting on the panel. This is all of I and I that are in tune, those who are here live with us, those who will be listening to all of this on a recording and all of that, you know, because throughout the days, more people will be finding the video and listening to it. So family, this is really a real family moment. This is not just a feel-good moment. This is a mission going forward, especially for those of us as members of this Ethiopia-Africa Black International Congress. Let me just say again, this Upliftment Committee is really a gathering of concerned members. You see, like you have concerned citizens. Well, this is some concerned citizens of the E.A.B.I.C. It's nothing different from the E.A.B.I.C. It's not no slice off or anything. It's just those who say, hey, listen, anything going on? Well, nothing really. A few people trying a thing or two, but it's just not getting off the ground. Well, tell you what, we have some expertise. Let's see what we can do. And this is what is coming out of it, my family. So, you know, this is the E.A.B.I.C. Upliftment Committee. All of us on this panel are actually members of this committee specifically. And this is one of our key programs that have been really on the move for a while. So the Honorable Priest Dougie, I must say, would have championed this with the Honorable Priest Lamont. The Honorable Jatut must remember him as well. And again, as far as our foundation, and this is especially to those who are members of this Congress, as far as the foundation, we don't know what the scriptures say, if it be destroyed, what shall the righteous do? And the family members have been, you know, putting forward their own resources, especially at the beginning of it, to ensure, I have to remember Honorable Priest Nappy too, to ensure that the elders, that especially the most vulnerable at this time, would at least begin to get the requisite care that they need. Give thanks for, again, other members of this committee, Empress Tricia, Honorable Prophet Daniel, Chairman Honorable Priest Kailash. So what we have done, we have come together now. As you could see, we have formed the GoFundMe. We are in the process now of having an official Webathon. Yes, God, please.
Let me just interject quickly before you go to the Webathon. I have to say something here about one of our unsung heroes that they might not know.
No problem at all.
That gives us great strength. Yeah, Honorable Priest Merle from New York. Yeah, man. A royal priest that holds the order there, that keeps the house there going. And ones may have seen his service many times on the YouTube. Yeah, that's a brethren that, you know, he doesn't come up front, but anytime there's an initiative and I reach out to that brethren, strength comes immediately. He just says, where you want me to send it, how you want me to send it, and it reaches. He is one of my supporters, you know, he's one of the Upliftment Committee supporters in the endeavors that we are pursuing right now. You know, he helped to initially launch the Elder Care program. You know, when I first reached out for some funds to back up what we had, he was the first one to send on his 1/10. So I must mention the brethren, and he does it every time, not once. You know, throughout the years that we have known the brethren and interfaced with the brethren, yeah, he's one of the stalwart supporters of the Congress. Yeah, give thanks, Priest Merle, for all your support, my brother.
That is true. Also true.
Man free, you know?
Yeah, man.
Man free.
Yeah, man. The man free, man.
Yeah, man. I see a man.
Yeah, man. I think all man know that's a royal angel there for
That's
sure.
an angel, man. That's a God in flesh.
And the nice
He's a God in flesh.
And we must learn to acknowledge one another in our African way, you know, in our African tradition, because it is our African tradition to acknowledge one another. We are not competitors. We are not competing, because when we compete, it goes against our interests. We complement one another. It's strength to strength. So where we see a one doing stuff, let us not think the worst all the time, but think how great it is that that one is volunteering their time to assist.
Oh, wonderful, man.
Yeah, man. And that is what we at Webathon always do. We are always trying to assist, because we are servants. We are from a servant order. The order of priests is a servant.
True, man. The Lord's servant.
Yes, my Lord. The spiritual and the temporal needs of our people. That's what we are here to do. We conjure up what they need. We bring to them the necessities of life through whatever means, right? Like our brethren say, by any means necessary. And we feed their spiritual needs with the purity of our liberty, the order that our Father teaches us, the salvation order that I and I chant 24/7. Because unlike others, our service never stops. Morning, noon, and night goes around the clock. Yes, sir.
True, my Lord. So I just encouraging all the family, just to make it easy for you. All the links, if they're not in the description below this video as yet, they will be in the description. The GoFundMe link, the Cash App link, the PayPal, and listen to this, the Zoom link for the Webathon. Now the Webathon, you know, is going to be a nice day of vibration. We're going to have different speakers. We're going to have, if you want to say, motivational speakers. We have a few what people refer to as celebrities who would have definitely pledged their presence with us. For example, we have the artist known as Luciano, and he will be there with us as well to pledge his support for the initiative that we are pushing for. And let me say this, I know a lot of ones have a lot of phobia with a lot of things and be very afraid when they hear things and, oh, you're mixing up reggae and this and that. Let me just put my words out early and bright, you know. This is an initiative for the Black nation. And we would have sent the word out, Four Winds Universal, of course, to our own members of this Congress, Rastafari in general, and just anyone who has a heart of love that would want to assist us. So this is one of the brothers from that realms who would have reached out to us, and we decided not to put up the "we are closed" sign. We opened the door and said, thank you, my brother. We appreciate it. So he will be on the card. I'm talking about the legendary Luciano, and he will be, you know, giving us some words of encouragement, and of course, encouraging the audience to definitely contribute. So those who don't know what a Webathon is, or a telethon, that is where people of concern, again, gather together to donate or contribute to a specific cause. In fact, we have a what was the right term? We have the amount of finance that we want to raise. The term is missing me now. But we have a goal. We have a goal that is set as well. I think we'll be announcing that on the day, or we could announce it this evening. So again, family, and in fact, I think it's on the GoFundMe. I think it's $25,000. That is the goal that we have. And that is not just for the elder case specifically, but we are also building a brand new health center. So there's so many things going on, and we are making it easy through using this medium and other mediums like this, so that the international bubble community, for starters, could at least assist in this initiative, and of course the wider community that has an open heart for this initiative. So I think there's a good understanding, and remember, most of the links, if not all, would be in the description below this video. Did I leave out anything, Honorable Priest Dougie?
No, I think you touch it, yeah, man, and know that this 25,000 is just a start, but we have to start somewhere. So we put the bar where we can reach it. So family, let us just run through that 25,000. It's 25,000. It's not a big amount of money, and it's for a noble and very needed cause. And the fact of the matter is, if we cannot fund, care for our elders, and beyond that, if we are not willing to fund our revolution, then we will never be truly free, If we cannot fund our independence and be self-sufficient as a nation of people, we will never become a nation again. And that is the work of Garvey. And like our father said, King Emmanuel, he came to finish the work of Marcus Garvey. And he has passed on the mantle to I and I to finish the race. See, we can't come up with 25,000 to house our elders and give them proper care, because we have the physicians and the caregivers willing to give their time and their skills towards it, but they need a facility to work out of. And if we can't provide that for our family, then yeah, our revolution look gloomy, bad. Give thanks.
Positive. Is Honorable Priest Lamont still with us? Honorable Priest Lamont.
Yes, yes, Priest, I am here. Honorable.
Thanks to the present. I know the I have been sitting in for a while, so I will just leave it to the I, and you don't know, churchical and statical. In fact, no, before I just let you go, when I say churchical and statical, of course, the conversation, we are really dwelling on King Emmanuel the Elder. And of course, I would definitely love to hear your testimony, and at the same time, just balance it with, again, some statical as it relates to the initiative, going forward, and the progress, and anything you think you need to add for the audience to understand really what we're doing. My Lord, the floor is yours. Please take your time.
Oh, blessed greetings, my Lord. Give thanks, Honorable Priest Isaacs. Give thanks for, other priests and, Empress on the program. Yes, Majesty. When I started, I tried for about 4 or 5 years before the King made his move, And during that 4 or 5 years, that it means then that, the King was well in his elder stage as an elder, and that is precisely how I see the God, as an elder. When we became Bobo Shanti, there of course there has been the talk, and as elder as the King was, there were many of I and I who were not expecting to see him trod out of the flesh. As a matter of fact, that was the talk. None the least, I saw him as an elder, and I was not looking out of the fact that, the robe of flesh would be dropped at some times. That was in my overstanding. These were not things that we jumped and readily voiced, as Bobo Shanti. But as an elder, the King was very, 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 very gentle, very, very loving, very, very calm. I have heard of time that they would say Jarat, but I never really I've never experienced any of that. I know him as an elder that I said was, as I said, he was calm and very definite, very loving. Jah was always understanding. Some of the times there were things that happened, and when you when you're called before him, you know, one would make it sound as if it's a moment of fear, you know. But I in my experience with being called by you know, Dada, of course, nervy when you hear that, you know, Dada call you, especially the situations that I was called in. The first one was being a little late for a mission that he had sent us on, you know, and I was to transport the bridge, and I was quite a few hours late, you know, according to how we had arranged the time, you know. And when I got to the course, and this, you know, everyone was so somber, you know, because I was late, and you know, the whole excitement of getting to the radio station and so forth, and they thought that this was not going to happen. And you know, when I got there and I looked, I said, but I mean, it's late according to arrangement that we had made, but it's not late in reality to get there on time. And I told them that, and they were like, you've got to tell the father that yourself, you know. And I said, of course, you know, I have to go, and at least I definitely know I had to go and say something to the father. And this was about my second or maybe the third time I'm going in front of the king, you know. And when I went and I saw him sitting, you know, in his throne, and when I got there and I knelt on the mat that was there, I never seen no anger. And when I said, "Oh my Lord," and I explained, and he was like, "Oh Majesty, well, time is there still, my Lord." And I said, "Yes, Majesty." I explained to him, and he was quite understanding, you know. And I listened and I said, "Well, my Lord, if it's time enough and you know you can get there without any problem, go, my Lord." And we just did that. And you know, looking at him, I saw an elder that in other circumstances, Priest Isaacs, maybe if we never had that premise that Dada was in an ever-living structure, as much as we loved and cared for him, when I look at it now, if we were just taking Dada as an elder and dealing with him with just that human response, I think we would have paid a little more time to pampering him, to really elder caring Dada as an elder. But I think our premise of him being the God and really was beyond the human faculties, that made us do a little less than we should have done in terms of really taking care of an elder. And now when I look at the elder program that we are doing, and I look at the elders, this is one of the things that make me do this with such a fervence, because I am seeing now that this is what we are to do for our elders. We have to really take care of them in the best way, like children, you know, really learn to understand the little, especially with some of the elders, though. Some of the time they would say things that some of the brethren would say, no, them talk to you, and they talk like them never understand. And some of the time it's I and I who don't understand that elders sometimes can really be children in the way they operate and the way they respond. And we have to know that taking care of our elders requires that amount of patience, time, and real diligence, my Lord. You know, so that is how I saw Dada, and as a symbol of eldership that must be truly attended to. And this of course, many of I and I realize that, you know, Dada is a person, though he is in the what I would say divineness of the Almighty, he still has his human nature, its human, faculties that needed attention.
Yeah.
And might have been a little ignored because we were seeing the God in him and saying that, he's God, he doesn't need that. And some, I listened to Empress Maisie, how she talked about, how to clip when clipping his knee. Yes, that is what we feel, because when we see some of the natural things that, need to happen. I was talking to Dada and I noticed that there was matter in his eyes.
Mm.
And I look at that and I said, of course, he is. I am there in front of him. I know he's the divine, but I look at the human things and I said, truly, he's a man, and he needs the care that ordinary humans need, in his elder state. Because most of the times I saw Dada sitting down, and one of the first time I saw Dada standing, and just rocking the Naya Bingi was one morning in the roll call when we were singing, and I remember we were singing Just As I Am without one plea. And it's the first time I saw Dada standing in physicality. And he stood up, and at that time he was in the palace, and he had a throne that they would put, and he could sit like almost out on the balcony line, and he stood up and was looking down at the roll call, and just rocking, to the singing and of the hymn, at the Psalms reading that morning. So yes, and it was such a glorious thing, and we felt so great that I stand up and that I rock, Yeah. But it is important that our elders are understood and treated with the best effort, the best care. And we need to treat all the elders that are there, male and female, as if we're taking care of Dada. We have to love them and treat them with the same zeal that we would go. And everyone wanted to do something for Dada. Everyone, as a Baba Ashanti, wanted to do something for Dada. And so everyone must want to do something for our elders now, for Empress Phyllis, for Priest Corte, for Prophet Tubman, for all of the elders that are there that need the care. And we need not wait until they are totally unable to help themselves to give them this urgent care. We need to begin to care for them, to set stage for them, so that, their moments of final walk don't have to be times of, wonderment and wondering if you are forsaken, or wondering if you did something why you are not getting what you think what you need and what you expect. Some of the times I think our elders are languishing about not being attended to with that amount of attention that is truly needed, my Lord. So I am really encouraging ones to look at the elder care program, to look at the initiative of creating a health center, a facility that will help to give the elders a better quality in their final days, So I'm really encouraging people, Baba Shanti and well-wishers, to do whatever is within their capacity to assist this venture, this project. We are really looking for a show of support on the 21st of May, Sunday, the 21st of May, as we do the telethon or the Webathon. And I'm really encouraging I and I to give, you know, if it's the widow's mite, we accept it. You know, Marcus Garvey collected maybe a dollar from each individual and created millions of dollars. So Bobo Shanti can go out and donate their little widow's mite and let us do what we can, my Lord and Empress.
Yes, Honorable. Yes, give thanks. You know, what a beautiful testimony and some key points there, you know, as you said, because of maybe our very religious outlook on a lot of things, we would have denied the God, the sincere treatment that he would have really deserved. But still, as Honorable Empress Maisie said, she's the woman again, you know, but yet still there were those of the brotherhood that would have also showed that sincere love. Family, don't know, no good conversation have no end. We're not going to seal up right now, but we're going to look to land the plane soon from now, you know. The plane not just drop out the sky and land, you know, but, you know, the pilot tell the hostess and them to go and get ready and clear up the aisle and sit in and make sure everybody's seatbelt on, and still take a good couple minutes before the plane lands. So I think we're into that stage where we're going to be soon landing in the plane. So of course, everyone will still have a moment to even express anything that they would like to express on the subject area. Let me just say though, as Honorable Priest Richie said, this is really one for the history, you know. When the Honorable Priest Lamont was speaking, so many things was going through my mind. I said, this is like one of those programs, like a sit down on the couch program, meaning that, you know, even as a society, we have not healed yet from the trauma that our enslavement has put upon us, in the sense that we don't even know how to deal with our elders. You know, I live in a community where I would say the young people don't even see the old people. I mean, young people don't even go around the old people to say, hey, what you can teach me before you go to, you know, I mean, wherever you might be going. That's just not there. There's no interest whatsoever. We turn our back on the elder ones, parents, grandparents. It's something that haunts us at this moment. And I could have picked up the healing. You know, this program itself could be almost like a psychological healing for many ones who are even suffering from that, what we call, this is like in our DNA, some genetical trauma from over the years or the centuries of being robbed and spoiled as a people. So this program is very deep. We're touching the historical aspect of King Emmanuel, which, to be very honest, we hardly talk about in such a collective way to the public, you know, how we have been speaking about it this evening. And at the same time, as a team, I think we've been still issuing out the actual message, what we gathered to issue out tonight, which is the elder care and the building of our health center, and just the overall compassion, Bobo Shanti, Ashanti family, as most of us would say, the compassion that we need to dig into ourselves now and find for those amongst us who have definitely walked the walk. So as much as we talk about King Emmanuel and all the badges we wear and King Emmanuel and this and that, yes, there are those amongst us who would have made sure that they took the best care that they could have of our father, King Emmanuel. And now many of them need the same assistance at this time. And this is why I personally like to primarily speak to the members of this Congress first. It's actually our duty, you know, to make sure that this is done. But of course, we do give thanks again as we reach to the whole international community, you know, to be a part of this initiative. So one more time before we go around the table as such, remember, we have the GoFundMe, the link. If it's not already in the description, it will be in the description. We definitely have the Cash App and the PayPal link. I will be showing you the flyer again with all the information. And remember, the Zoom link for next Sunday will also be made available here. And we will be doing some more promotion and marketing and advertising of this initiative. So you will be seeing the links and all the information appearing in different spots. So just keep your eyes and your ears open, social media and otherwise. You will hear more about this in this coming strong. So, Honorable Priest Westmore, Kes Westmore.
Honorable God.
Give thanks, my Lord. Before I let the dignitaries, say their sealing words, anything you want to input before such?
Well, first of all, we give thanks again. We give thanks for the angels that came on panel with us this evening. Give thanks again for the Honorable Empress Miriam. Give thanks on our priest Dougie. Give thanks on our priest Lamont also. And we give thanks to the testimonies of the elders, to show forth even, and I say, blessed are those that have not seen, but their faith constant being ever living life they shall have, So faith is knowing and doing. So we give thanks to the elders who provide a testimony, because that is what the Father comes to show us, that man of right is God in flesh. You see it, and we have to take care. So just as the man said, if you want to know, and you have to know yourself. So it's not a spooky God. It's a real man, a man of thirsty also. A man will use the bathroom. All the world of God is like, God not use bathroom, God not have a toilet. You see it? God needs strength. Because the Honorable Empress is a real man. His fingernail need to be done. And the priest Dougie tell is a real man. Could tell us, say, in the some herbs on their son, the finger. So as you learn, because the God teach you, which you have to continue seeing, because remember, same God is saying, say, disciples, because we still from the Lent to the resurrection moment, he said to the disciple, say, when he was young, someone carry around, and he's a young man, you walk again, but when you're elder again, you're going to need someone else again to carry around. So I said the baton I pass through, So we give thanks to the Upliftment Committee, because the man said, I must strengthen the Congress with words and works of upliftment. So we give thanks to the upliftment that is going through, the words and works. And we know say it's anything that is not defaming to the Congress, we know say it is constitutional. And we give thanks to those who say we adopt, those also to foster those who deal with sound principles to the cause also. So we give thanks. We give thanks to know that there's so many works to be done and the laborers are few, but they are volunteer Ethiopians. So we give thanks to the volunteer committee, as our priest Dougie says, volunteer works. Understand, as I say, against a platform to reach out to the members, because the members, there's an international creed, as the Honorable Priest Dougie reiterated and said that thy blessing to us, thy blessing, remember, it's a blessing to us, You may be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, age protected, and infants cared for. So we have to care for elders, the ever living books also. It's a program that is reaching out also, because it's both physical, financial, because when a man and woman, even have the Bobo Shanti faith, who know that they have vast amount of knowledge within certain fields, it shows that your service is required. It is required, for the upliftment of life. So give thanks to each and everyone again, and we give thanks to the moments, and we give thanks to those that are listening. I remember the 21st, 3/7 clash again, Marcus Garvey, Bim Bam Bam Bawe, so that, it's the launching again, and it's a GoFundMe. So we're looking for each and every individual, to zoom in and even come in. Give thanks again for life, health, and strength again. And I very Empress Maisie, give thanks for the high presence with us this evening. As it's a international, it's an international Mother's Day, they're saying, and I have to give thanks to the eye, because the eye is the elder there, also one of the elders them who I see as a mother, as a young one going to Bobo camping, enough things I learn from the eye and another priest, LCMA still, so
I have to jump in there, I must
thanks.
jump in.
Bless the Lord.
I must jump in. Today I meditate in the program when I done plan it. I say, hey, today is the day they call the Mother's Day. And look how the mother coming on the program tonight. That's why I was talking, and I don't want to go into all this, but But you and I just study and I history. And you know, we love our mother. And it's not that every day is a Mother's Day. I agree. We must have a Mother's Day. But you either study history. And a quick to follow Babylon holiday, where is Thanksgiving, because I believe in Thanksgiving too, but not their Thanksgiving. You know, they talk about the birth of Christ too. Me to follow that one there. So I'm gonna quick for follow none of the days, including this day. So I still there,
Well,
and I say, well, wait, Mystic, how the mother coming on the program tonight, boys? I just humble myself.
yeah, man, and her son is right beside her too, you know. Her son is right beside
God,
her.
and King
Daniel, the
Emmanuel
lion
eyes,
is dead.
lastly eyes,
Right,
Jah,
Rastafari.
Rastafari. Honorable Priest Daniel, man. And hear this now.
My
now.
Lord, word
Let me just show how Jah work. You see, we just put up that picture, and I say there, I bet it's enough man never see Jah play Kete. And look how the Kete master. Hands down, nobody can just step up. To my Lord, give us a word, no God. Give thanks to hear the eye.
Yeah, give thanks to life and the mighty life people, you know. Give thanks, you know, to hear the item on this program same, you know. And give thanks to the works, you know, going on, you know, to our elders same, you know. So we can say, you know, evil, you know, it's an action, you know, taking place for our elder, you know, it's not just talking, you know. So we glorify the one that we really are putting the word and, you know, putting the action, you know, behind the talk, you know. But that's how Jah said it, you know. You know, he's a man of the talk and him of the work. You see? So we give thanks to the talk and we give thanks to the work, you know, because our elders really need us as young ones. Understand? The age protected and the infants care for. You see me? So we give thanks to hear the items here on this program. You know, when they talk about the elders, man, I tell them I feel good. And the work of even Honorable Priest Lamont, you know, and even Honorable Priest Suggy, me give thanks, you know, and Jatut, you know, me give thanks for the work for the man them do, because I tell you, King, years we want something like this for the elders. You know, so I glorify. And even this program, you know, as I hear the program, you know, my mind does flashback, you know, when we did St. Lucia, you know, we are keep the program.
Burning bush.
Burning bush. Because we'd have a burning advertisement, you know, that is number one, you know, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, we'd have a nice ad. Yeah. Yes, man, same thing, same way. Glorify, man. But they
I
are
forgot
saying,
to
we are
listen to
gone away, you know.
Burning Bush.
Yeah, man.
The burning bush.
Say what?
Yeah, man. So give thanks like that. They are here the ones, man. It's a joy, man. It's a joy, my Lord. Glorify everyone who on the program tonight, you know? It's a wonderful. Keep it up, my Lord. Keep it up.
Give thanks. For those who may not know, you know, the Food at 7 radio station, when we just rock that in St. Lucia. Yeah, man, we had that program, The Burning Bush. Honorable Priest Solomon as well. I know he listening, you know.
Yeah.
For him as well, to all of and I used to rock them. Yeah, man. Give thanks, man. Great joy. Well, we just continue the works, you know. Give thanks, Ambassador Daniel, man. Joy to hear you.
Yes, sir.
Real joy.
That's the fire.
So we're looking to seal up, you know, Honorable Empress Maisie. Any sealing words on your part?
Yes, Majesty. I must say I give thanks, you know, to the program tonight, and give thanks to the honorable priests, them who have give their testimony, you know, about the Father still. You know, the Father is a loving and kind man, but yet still that are serious on his work, you know, that I don't joke when he come upon him salvation work and him governmental work, especially for freedom, redemption, and international repatriation work. And that's what we are on. I do give thanks. And tonight, you know, our aim here is the GoFund for the elders, you know. And I am reaching out, you know, to the wider public, my Bobo Shanti families near and far, and to all the well-wishers then that are listening in tonight to this program. This is a worthy cause, you know, for our elders, that we can set up the clinic for them, that the doctors and the nurse can come in on time and give their checkup, you know, and to see that their health is harder. So this is a worthy cause. We need it. And I'm asking my fellow brethren them, you know, to just give their 5 their 110. no matter how small it is precious in that ninja sight, right? So I give thanks, to be on this program. My Lord Honorable Presider, Honorable Jerry Ritchie, His Ritchie
Oh,
Majesty,
bless the Lord,
Priest
yes,
Dougie,
bless the Lord.
Honorable Priest Lamont, and few little words from my son, Priest Daniel, and give thanks to Empress Miriam
Yes,
to be
sir.
on this program. All blessing and prosperity. And we are looking forward for your strength, to strengthen this program, my God. Give thanks.
Go and
to
play
guide
a
you out?
timbrel, mama. No
Sorry,
mirror. Yeah, man, go and play a timbrel across the Red Sea. Give thanks. Blessed love.
My Lord,
Honorable.
I'll do what I can for my
Give thanks.
blessed Lord.
You would like me to guide you out of the Zoom, or you want to stay in until the priest them seal up their words?
Well, it's no problem, because I love to hear the sealer words from all my priests.
Yes,
if it's okay. All right?
Sure. Let me go in order. Honorable Priest Dougie, if I will. You're
Yes,
sealing
my
word.
Lord.
My
Give
Lord.
thanks. Yeah. Any Marcus Garvey I. Any Haile Selassie the first I. Any King Emmanuel I. And that the Father come teach her, That I hear the Father say. So for those that is acting like the Father gone somewhere and we without the Father, and the whole of a panic business and the whole of a lamentation and all them things there. I saying to the family, it's time to get over that now. Because King Emmanuel is here. He's here within I and I. When I see the Honorable Priest Isaac, I see King Emmanuel. When I see the Honorable Priest Lamont, I see King Emmanuel. When I see the Honorable Priest Richie, I see King Emmanuel. When I see my Mama Maisie, Mama Miriam, I see the Father and I see the Mother same way. Yes, Jah is within I and I. What I and I need to do now, family, is rise up and do what the Father teach I and I. So man and men will see and glorify I and I, Father, through I and I works. It's through the works of I and I that the world are going to see I and I, Father, and acknowledge him for who he is. Not the whole of fabulistic things that we preach a lot of times and try to equate and place our Father within certain biblical contexts. No, the man works. Take away everything, take away all of the biblical connotations and references, and just look at the man for the work where the man do, and it stand on its own. Seeing? And I give thanks to the love of the Father, the love where I and I come learn from King Emmanuel. I never feel that love there from I and I own caretaker parents. The depth of love where the Father come teach you. You understand? Where the man say, you must be willing to give up your own for the love of your brother and your sister. Them level of love there. The love of Christ, the Black Christ, Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So I give thanks, my Lord, and as I say, I come know the Father, not just as the God, but as I Father. Seeing, and I give thanks that I was there throughout the time, and I was there to lay him to rest. And I am here right now walking in his footsteps, standing on his shoulder, seeing, trying to hold up the pillars of the Congress as he has taught I and I too. So family, support the initiative, help with elders. The GoFundMe is essential and it's simple. Just type in E.A.B.I.C and you will see it pop up. And you just go inside of the link and you look for the donation button and you tap it and all of the information come up and you can make a donation. If not, you can go to you can use your PayPal, which is priestnappy@gmail, and you can go to your Cash App, which is the $ Jah E.A.B.I.C 23. See, and you have it and just lick in. Whether it's a $10, your $20, if it's two of the item want to put together and do it, if a family want to contribute together, all of that, man, we'll make it work. But 25,000 shouldn't take more than an evening for collect. Not even an evening. We should get that in an hour from our family. You understand? Sacrifice a one spliff, sacrifice a one juice, a one, some luxury. Just sacrifice because you know, it takes sacrifice, you know it's have to run if you want good. See, the man said there is no crown, you understand, without the cross. No redemption of sins without the shedding of blood. We have to make some form of sacrifice. So this is it, make we take care of our elders, make we show the world what we taught the world. We taught the world altruism, what it is to give that whole of the love. We sing it all the while, at the end of every one of our nice ceremony, we sing it. Rastafari have the whole of the love. It's not just a word, it's an action. Make we show the action, by donating to this solid, noble, urgent endeavor. We have an elder empress right now is in need of urgent care, urgent solution to our problems. And even Mama Miriam that is on this site right now, on this platform with us right now, she is struggling with her visual and she needs strength too. You understand? She's an elder. As she told us earlier, in 2 years, she'll be 70. So we have to put in place provisions to help her. You understand? So these are urgent needs and just causes. Yes, family, support. Out of love, give thanks.
Priest Laman.
Blessed love and every priest. Just to be in a few words, every time I think of the elder care program and I think of our father, King Emmanuel, as the elder, there is that hymn that we always sing, and it's a hymn I love so much. At evening air, the sun was set, the sickle jar around the lane.
The sickle
diverse pain
yes,
we met, and with what joy we went away. And the verse that says, once more 'tis evening tide, and we, oppressed with various ills, draw near.
What if?
And if thy form we cannot see, we know and feel that thou art.
We know.
And yes, and it tells us that the business of the Majesty, the business of the Black Christ, the business of the Savior, is about taking care of the sick. We have read about it in when we read of the Christ. We have said it every day in our creed, the age protected infant. So we see that this is an integral part of the walk with the divine, because when we look at our patriarchs and our matriarchs, when we read of them, we see them as elders. And so it is vital that we really take care of our elders and our sick, because it is us who are now in the person and the state and the stead of King Emmanuel. Because when King Emmanuel was there, of course, people left everywhere in their sickness, in their plight, and they came, and they I am sure they got their satisfaction to what they were looking for. So let us still present to them that amount of assurance of care, the sick, the aged, and the children. We have to care for them, because it's the practice to go unto the divine, unto the master, my Lord and Empress.
Blessed love and ever give thanks.
Give thanks.
Blessed
One of the
Lord,
main mantras we have here on this program is that we don't come here to count cows. We come here to drink the sincere milk. That's a Bobo Shanti. I come in this culture and learn it. So I know everyone here know them phrase there too. So I'm actually putting this out to the wider Bobo Shanti community, Bobo Ashanti community, as some would say as well. Don't confuse this issue we're dealing with tonight and start counting cows with nobody. Me personally, I have no time for that. Sometimes I glimpse and see some cow counting, even as it relates to this issue here. This is a very important issue, and for those who are sincere in heart, family, I can tell you, I wouldn't be a part of nothing that you don't have accountability and transparency. And we already, even as an executive, we don't iron out everything, you know. It's not like we can just come and tell the world everything, but Bobo Shanti is moving forward, family. And this is, you know, this is the avenue that's available to us. If it was just a telephone, maybe we try to call everybody on the phone. But hey, the internet is there, the YouTube is there, and Facebook. Yeah, so we're using it to gather specifically. I would say, this is maybe my own personal opinion, first and foremost, and as Bobo Shanti, we should prove to the world.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But still, you know, we open to the whole international community. As I said, Sunday, Brother Luciano going to be with us. You know, so all the fire with us be burning. Luciano going to be with us. Are you going to be with us? Yeah, the messenger. I hope so, family. So as I say, all the links in the description below.
All right, man. Yeah, we'll have guests and special guests.
Yes,
we'll have guests and special guests.
Yeah, some special ones coming through. It's going to be a top. Yes, King, go through.
Yeah, man. We're not going to tell you all who is going to be there because we want a present to see. But I guarantee you, you know, whoever is in attendance will be pleasantly surprised and well entertained.
Yes,
you know?
Man. Yeah. It's going to be wonderful. It's really going to be a wonderful thing, eh? So just come on board, family. Yes, Honorable Kes Westmore, if you could seal us off with a blessing, you know, after you put in any sealing words if you desire, and we can seal up.
Give thanks again, Majesty. Give thanks for the sealer moments. Give thanks and every priest Dougie. Give thanks and every priest Lamont again. And every Empress Miriam and every priest Isaac. Give thanks to thyself also. And the engineering staff, right? They have, you know, Radio Anno. We give thanks again. So that will be done from earth to Zion. Give thanks. Most High, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Glory be to our Father and to the Son, to the Holy One of creation. As Jah was in the beginning, is now and ever shall be, Jah without end. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. To the works, we are servants of God. Let us follow the path of our Master of Chad. With the balm of his counsel, our strength to renew. Let us do it our might, with our hands find to do. Tired now, let us hope, let us watch and pray and labor till our Master comes. Fundamental freedom, redemption, international repatriation will be achieved through our voluntary service and our unity to the Most High. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Peace and love, my Lord.
Yes, man.